On your side, 6 News starts with breaking news.
An officer-involved shooting in Omaha leaves one person dead.
It happened after sunset in South Omaha at 27th and Harrison. We have team coverage, and we begin tonight with Liliana Pearson live at the scene. Liliana?
John and Lauren, yeah, I'm still here at 27th and Harrison, and you can see behind me here still a very active scene. You can see lots of red and blue, still lots of police here investigating. Way down at the bottom of the hill, we've actually been able to see several police markers that are down for evidence right now, and police also tell us that they recovered a weapon that they do believe belonged to the man who was killed. This was the scene here at 27th and Harrison around 7:30. Police say that they were trying to pull over a car with 4 people inside, but when they asked the driver, a man, to get out of the car, he refused. When he finally agreed to get out of the vehicle, they saw a weapon and a fight started. That's when Omaha police say at least one officer discharged a weapon more than one time.
I don't want to speculate until we have a chance to interview all the parties in depth that were in the vehicle as well as the officers. I don't want to speculate as to everything that happened. We do have some independent witnesses that are also being interviewed and sent downtown that corroborate some of the information that I've told you tonight.
And there was definitely lots of family members here on scene. Lauren Melendez was the first here on scene tonight. And Lauren, I know that you talked to several of them.
Right. Liliana, as you can imagine, this was a very emotional scene for family today. They were actually here as they heard those shots. Now, family are telling us that they heard at least 6 shots. Police have not confirmed that so far. They're telling us so far all they have heard, or all they have at least confirmed, was that the man was shot at least once. So again, I talked to an aunt, I talked to a sister, I talked to several cousins. As you can imagine, many of them unable to actually speak on camera, but an aunt did tell me she ran outside of the house as she heard many of those gunshots and did see her nephew lifeless on the ground. So again, this is a very traumatic situation. We want to be respectful to family as we are still on this active scene. And again, we are expected to hear more information from police. So we'll bring you the very latest as soon as we get it. For now, both live of us here in Southeast Omaha. 6 News, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you. And we will go back to the scene a little bit later in this newscast. Now, RALSTON could soon be the latest community to introduce a mask mandate or ordinance. The city council will decide next week. The city's health board approved it at an emergency meeting earlier today.
As some in the small communities say, they have evidence that masks work, including Ralston's fire chief. Liliana Pearson with the story.
We saw the need to protect our members who are on the front lines responding.
At the RALSTON Board of Health meeting,
The purpose of the meeting is to take action on a mask mandate for the city of Ralston.
Fire Chief Kevin Eichiide voiced his support. In his shop, they've been wearing masks, and he says it's working.
I think it's helped us out a lot. We haven't had a whole bunch of COVID cases within our department. We have had an isolated few, but it was not directly dealing with our department.
All volunteers have to wear masks when they can't socially distance, and they have to wear them on calls along with other PPE if they suspect they'll be dealing with a COVID patient. They know through contact tracing that a few volunteers who have contracted the virus, that they didn't get it from work.
It was a decision that we discussed. We knew that it was the right thing to do.
Eichiide hopes a citywide mandate will make it easier, not only for the fire department to enforce mask rules, but for other businesses as well.
Passing this mandate, it kind of just unifies everything across the board within our city.
Well, if you've been following this issue in Nebraska, you know the state is still working through legal hurdles. So Ralston is doing it 2 ways. The City Board of Health passed it today. It should be good to go, but the City Council is also expected to pass it Tuesday, which makes both bodies backing it, and it would take effect on Wednesday.
Now, Ralston is considering the mask mandate. At the same time, Governor Ricketts is against issuing a statewide mask mandate. Instead, he's expanding his communication strategy in a new campaign. Take a look. It's called Do Right Right Now. Ricketts, along with Health Director Dr. Adi Poor and other health officials, they explain what the campaign means. The goal is to stop the spread of COVID-19 in our community by underscoring the basics. Number 1, socially distance. Number 2, wash your hands. And number 3, wear a mask. Now, some doctors push back, saying that's just not enough. They insist a mask mandate will help the health system.
Well, after considering today's warm weather, tonight feels a little bit more like winter, but it still isn't that bad. David Keller joining us at the Forecast Center.
Yeah, we are starting to cool off, John, but we are still much warmer than we normally are this time of year. Skies have cleared or have stayed clear this evening, starting to see a few more clouds. So off to the north, these clouds will eventually filter down into our skies by the time we get to tomorrow, but we stay dry. We're down to 43 now. That's from our high of 73 earlier today. North wind at 7 miles per hour, helping us to cool off so quickly. Papillion still holding on to 55. Likely to see that drop pretty soon. 49 in Millard, 42 in Bennington. And as we head through the rest of the night, we may even see some 30s start to show up on the map, especially to the north with a low right around 40, it looks like. Here in the metro tomorrow, only in the 50s. But that's still above average, but it's going to feel much cooler than today. Also tracking a chance for some showers. We'll have that coming up here in a couple of minutes. Lauren?
All right, David, we'll see you soon. Vice President Mike Pence held a rare public briefing today with members of the White House Coronavirus Task Force on the battle against COVID-19. And across the board here, agreement that the U.S. should not lock down and Americans across the country should mask up.
We stopped the surge in the South through very targeted mitigations that start with masks, that start with physical distancing, but also include decreasing those friends and family gatherings where people come together and unknowingly spread the virus.
We also heard from Dr. Anthony Fauci today, who is celebrating progress being made with two possible vaccines, one from Moderna and the other from Pfizer. He expects the use of vaccines will happen soon, but we can't let our guards down and we have to keep our defenses up.
Now, I've used that metaphor that the cavalry is on the way. If you're fighting a battle and the cavalry is on the way, you don't stop shooting. You keep going until the cavalry gets here, and then you might even want to continue fighting.
Put to bed any concern that developing a vaccine has been rushed. He said the process did not compromise safety or integrity. It was a show of extraordinary advances in science that have been made.
Nebraska is hitting a new high in COVID. 983 people are now in the hospital with the virus. And in the last 24 hours, more than 2,600 new cases were reported. The positive case count is now more than 109,000. 28 new deaths were also confirmed. It brings the death toll to 854. Douglas County also hitting a new high today, reporting 978 cases in a single day. And to put those numbers in perspective, even more, we've compared Douglas County cases with other Midwest counties of similar size. And looking at average daily counts over a 7-day period, Douglas County is in the lead with 639 new cases a day. And compare that to slightly less populated Polk County, home of Des Moines. They report an average of 532 new cases a day. Tulsa County reporting even fewer with 394. And Sedgwick in Kansas averaging 330 a day. Here's the kicker. Jackson County, home of the Kansas City, outnumbers Douglas County by nearly 103,000, but it's averaging only 190 cases a day. That's just shy of 450 less than Douglas County each day.
And the CDC is sending a clear message today. If you have Thanksgiving travel plans, cancel them. Officials strongly recommend against traveling over the holiday. Their forecast now projects that we could see up to 298,000 deaths by December 12th. The coronavirus death toll in the U.S. has surpassed 250,000. Health experts say the darkest days are still ahead of us.
Developing tonight, the state-mandated hand count in Georgia has been completed. Those results still have Joe Biden winning Georgia's electoral votes in the presidential race. And for that and other developments, Sharon Chen at the Live Desk.
All right, John, so we have been keeping an eye on the specific numbers in the Georgia race. Now, they haven't changed on the state's website since about 5:30 this evening. That's when the hand tally had concluded and they announced it. It shows Joe Biden with 554 votes ahead of Donald Trump. Now, the state recounted roughly 5 million votes. A new state law called for the audit. It was not in response, though, to any suspected problem or from any request. The Secretary of State has until tomorrow afternoon at 5 to certify the results, and then the governor certifies the slate of electors on Saturday. Now, President Trump's legal team, led by Rudy Giuliani, were in Washington today. They talked about their allegations of widespread voter fraud across multiple states, claiming it was a nationally coordinated effort. Giuliani is promising major lawsuits in Georgia, Arizona, and possibly even New Mexico. Now, as for Joe Biden, the president-elect is forging ahead, working to get his administration started. A big focus of his work is addressing the pandemic. Today, he mirrored what the White House said, that there will be no national shutdown. From the Live Desk, I'm Sharon Chen. John, we'll send it to you.
Offutt Air Force Base is one of 6 finalists to be home to the United States Space Force Command. Now, Congressman Bacon said America's national security depends on the country's access to space, and that it's great the Pentagon recognizes that Offutt is an ideal location to center that mission. And more on the officer-involved shooting that left 1 man dead tonight. Plus, Christmas comes early to New York. The window display making shoppers say, wow.
Not trying to cheat them out of money.
She's 82, bombarded with bills she doesn't owe. 6 News steps in.
Welcome back. Your time right now, 10:13. We are taking a live look over the Missouri River. It has been a very beautiful day out there, a very mild night, and possible warm-up happening on the way for maybe the weekend. We're going to see about that, though. David Keller's going to tell us more in his first look forecast coming right up. For the elderly on fixed incomes, a few $100s can seem like a small fortune.
That's why for an 82-year-old in Omaha, she's been fighting an undeserved bill that just won't stop coming. And she turned to our Mike McKnight and 6 on Your Side for help.
Moving into an independent living center last summer, Mary Wyckoff no longer needed a medical alert unit like this. So she sent hers back to the Pennsylvania company in July, and she has a UPS delivery notice to prove it.
I sent them the equipment that I had. I can't help they can't find it. It's their problem.
Medical Alert has sent her multiple warnings. You're past due, along with a $239 bill for not returning the device.
I'm not trying to cheat them out of money. I don't have that piece of neck panic button. I sent it back.
Though refusing to pay the bill, Mary worries about her credit if the bill is sent to collections.
Well, I don't have that kind of reputation. I always keep track of what I owe.
After contacting Medical Alert and put on hold for several minutes, a representative told me everything is fine with her account. After I called them, they called you right away?
Right within a minute.
And what'd they say?
They will not be sending me any more bills because it's taken care of.
And in times of so much worry, the 82-year-old knows her credit history will remain healthy.
I'll be able to sleep better tonight.
On Your Side in Northwest Omaha, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
The medical alarm provider has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, but the report listed 89 complaints about billing issues. It appears the company tries to resolve each complaint.
Your First Alert forecast is sponsored by Exarban ARS.
For a limited time, get $150 off the purchase and installation of a new water heater, plus a free Nest Protect. Visit exarbanars.com or call 402-331-1233.
Well, it really was a beautiful day here around the area. It doesn't get much better really any time of year, let alone in the middle of November. Things are starting to cool off, though, and we're looking at a cool down here as we head into the next several days. A cold front has moved on through, and that has turned our winds to the north. Sky still mainly clear across the metro, but you notice some cloud cover here, Norfolk to near Pender, just south of Sioux City, north of Tacoma. These clouds will eventually spread into our skies by morning, but until then, temperatures have been dropping very quickly. It's starting to get a little chilly out there. Here's a cold front that moved through earlier today. Our winds now out of the northwest, and, well, we will continue to see those north to northwest winds all the way into Saturday. So we are definitely looking at a couple of cooler days on the way. We are down now to 43 degrees. That is a drop of 30 degrees from our afternoon high. And while we are only going to continue to get colder thanks to that north wind and clear skies, it's already down to 38 in Tacoma. It's 37 in Harlan, 37 in Carroll, 40 Fremont, 42 in Wahoo, 43 here in Omaha, still 53 in Plattsburgh. But there's our high temperature today, 73 degrees, tied the record high of 73 set back in 2007. Thankfully, we tied the record high, not the record low, because that was just 1 degree set back in 1914. I don't see anything like that in our near future, so a little bit of good news there. But it is going to be cooler thanks to these north winds. You can see they've taken over pretty much the entire area at this point. So skies are clear now. We're looking at mainly clear skies through at least 4 o'clock in the morning as temperatures dip down to 37 degrees. I've had to lower that because of the clear skies, so it is going to be chilly when you wake up tomorrow, but still above average for this time of year. Notice the clouds, though, thickening up tomorrow morning. Still looking at clouds for the lunch hour. And they hang around into the afternoon as well. You combine that with the north wind, that means cooler temperatures. Highs only around 57 degrees, and those clouds not really going anywhere as we head into the weekend, at least the first half of the weekend. There's our cold front. It continues to sink away tomorrow evening, but notice the clouds thickening up into Saturday. There may be some isolated showers. You don't see a whole lot here, but there may be some isolated showers across northeast Kansas, northwestern Missouri, and some of those may try to spread up our direction Saturday afternoon, especially south of Lincoln, south of Omaha. Don't think we're going to get a whole lot out of this, but there may be some sprinkles out there over the weekend and then to early Sunday morning. Looks like Sunday afternoon we'll actually get a little sunshine, but next week we are still looking at temperatures that are above average. Not as warm as what we had today and yesterday, but they're above average. Normal highs are in the 40s. I think we'll be in the 50s as we head even into the start of December. Kind of hard to believe there. Overnight down about 37 degrees, certainly a little bit cooler thanks to that north breeze. 57 tomorrow, 51 Saturday, 50 Sunday. Some showers possible in there. I think the football game goes off without a hitch, though. No rain expected there. Better chance for rain Monday into Tuesday, but check out Thanksgiving. Partly sunny, highs around 53. Not bad at all. Download our First Alert weather app. You can always check that 7-day or 10-day forecast anytime as we look ahead to the holiday next week.
Overall, they're looking pretty good. I'm kind of confused, though. Are we in November?
Well, it doesn't feel like it, but next week it'll feel a little more like it. Still not bad.
Keep in mind, 1 degree in 1914. It can happen.
It can happen. Yep.
All right, thanks, David. 6 News ready to help this holiday season. We are stuffing the bus in just 2 weeks.
That's right. We'll be out at 2 locations on December 3rd. Methodist Women's Hospital at 192nd and Dodge, and the other near 87th and Dodge. You can safely drive through and drop off non-perishable food items, new toys, toiletries, and cash donations. 'Tis the season of giving, so help us fill the shelves at the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry.
Coronavirus benching Creighton basketball plans as we reveal the rival they will be facing when they finally are able to take the courts.
And Macy's holiday window display unveiled, why it's being hailed a shining tribute.
Now sports, sponsored by your Omaha area Honda dealers.
We officially entered the Luke McCaffrey era last Saturday, and the first game with Luke taking the snaps resulted in a W. Scott Frost says as Luke goes forward playing full games, he can only get better, and that'll help the offense start to figure some things out and continue to improve as a unit.
You know, it's the second game. He's not going to get everything figured out in one, but I hope he's a little more comfortable in this game. And that being said, I thought he did some really good things and played well enough for us to win Saturday.
To college hoops, Creighton was set to start its season in the Bad Boys Mowers Crossover Classic in Sioux Falls next week. Instead, the team is pausing activities due to a positive coronavirus test in the program. They've withdrawn from that event, and a decision on when to safely resume activities will be made in the coming days. Right now, their first game on their schedule on the website says they host UNO in Omaha as long as nothing else changes and they can move forward. We know that they're hosting the Mavericks. Now it's official. The rivalry with UNL will continue on the 2 programs, announcing today that the Huskers and Blue Jays will hit the hardwood in Omaha on December 11th. And speaking of UNO, the basketball teams held a virtual media day today. For the men, they're losing 2 important seniors in JT Gibson and KJ Robinson from last season, but Matt Pyle returns, and last year's Summit League 6th Man of the Year, Marlon Ruffin, returns. Overall, the team feels a lot deeper as well with the young guys they've added. They have their eyes on winning the Summit League and going to the big dance, and they think they can get there with defense.
I think we're going to have enough things on that end of the floor, to be honest with you. I think we can. It's how well we defend and rebound every night, I think will end up telling us how our season is going to go.
We were really close, 2 years ago, and then two years before that, they were right there, 1 shot away. So I think just to make that last step, we have to pick it up on the defensive end.
On the women's side, first-year head coach Carrie Banks comes in as an assistant from Ohio State with high expectations for her new team. She's trying to create a culture and perhaps surprise some people along the way.
if we go out there and compete and again, play with toughness, have that attention to detail, and can be consistent from day to day, I think we will surprise a lot of people.
Iowa 3A state title game. Harlan looking for its 13th state title against North Scott. Late first half, Tegan Kasperbauer throws this beauty to Aiden Hall. He climbs the ladder and goes and gets it. Game was tied at the half, but turnovers plagued the Cyclones. They finish as state runner-ups to the Lancers, 30-6, the final there. And John and Lauren, looking forward to Saturday with the Huskers. I tried to get David to guarantee there won't be any rain. He would not guarantee it.
He's usually, you know, he'll cooperate, but not this time. I don't know what the deal is, Rex.
There's a guarantee there won't be snow, so we'll take that.
Yes, that's always good this time of year. All right, Rex, we'll be right back.
Let's go back to the officer-involved shooting in South Omaha.
One person, a suspect, has died. Liliana Pearson and Lauren Melendez join us now live from the scene.
John and Lauren, we haven't learned any new details since we checked in with you last time, but here's what police were able to tell us when we spoke to them last. We learned that this officer-involved shooting was a result of a difficult traffic stop. We learned that they initially pulled over somebody, asked him to get out of the car. At first, he didn't, but when he did, they saw that there was a weapon on him. They say that that's when a fight began, and at least one officer fired his gun more than one time. Lots of people have been here on scene tonight. It's definitely been very emotional. Lauren Melendez was here on scene first. Lauren, what did you see?
Yeah, well, of course, being first comes at a cost. Family members here were extremely emotional, screaming literally for answers. Not many of them able to talk to us, but one aunt did walk us through what she says happened. Omaha police say 2 officers were involved in the traffic stop, but they believe only one fired a weapon.
That's all we heard was pow, 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 pow.
The man's aunt says she came running down the street to find him lying lifeless on the ground.
It was my nephew. They shot him 6 times.
Police only confirmed the man was shot at least once, but say the officer's body camera was recording. Families say they are fully expecting that to be shared with them.
He got blood on him. He the one that did it. And they're gonna pay for it. It ain't over.
Evening, she's going to go back and speak with them. I'll be going back to talk to the family, and we are being told that more details are going to be released tomorrow. So, of course, we'll bring you the very latest as it comes in. For now, live in Omaha, Lauren Melendez and Liliana Pearson, 6 News.
All right, Lauren and Liliana, thank you for that update. All right, David, go ahead and take it away.
All right, well, we are starting to get a little chilly out there tonight. It's already down into the low 40s. I think we get down to about 37 by morning tomorrow. More clouds, cooler, but believe it or not, still above average for this time of year, a high around 57. We could have a few isolated showers or sprinkles over the weekend, especially Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. 50s Saturday and Sunday, some 40s Monday and Tuesday. Better chance for more measurable rainfall, I think, more appreciable rainfall into Tuesday, but things still looking pretty good by Thanksgiving. Sunshine returns with highs in the low to mid 50s.
And David, we could still use some of that rain.
Oh yeah, we desperately need more rainfall, so we will take every bit we can get.
That's why you said appreciable. We appreciate it. All right, thanks, David.
All right, day breaks at 4:30. Good night.
Good night.
Get WOWT 6 News anytime, anywhere. Download our free news and First Alert weather apps.